So much, right? And it's all being passed down by who? Who's the original teacher?
Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna. And who's the first person who got all the knowledge from him? First person on this material world who was born out of his neighbor?
Brahma.
Brahma. So Krishna gave all the knowledge of the Vedas and how to make this world, how to do creation, everything to Brahma. And from Brahma it passed on to his son called Narad. And from Narad, like that, in a disciplic succession, in like parampara system, how we say, it all has come down through our teachers, our spiritual teachers, and now it's going to all of us. Now we are getting this priceless knowledge, right? Like, this is like knowledge which is going to actually give us a lot of wealth of happiness, right? So we should be grateful to the Lord for this priceless knowledge, isn't it? So we'll show our gratitude by folding our hands and closing our eyes, and you repeat after me this mantra, this beautiful mantra that we are going to learn today. Okay, close your eyes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So today we are going to hear some amazing stories about Krishna. Okay, and Miss Mary, you want to say something? And we're going to hear about Krishna because he's somebody who really, really loves us, right? And when we listen to his stories, then we also start loving him. When we glorify him, when we listen about somebody, then we get to know about that person, right? And when you see that this person has so much kindness in his heart, he is like the best well-wisher that we have in this entire world, then what happens to us? We start falling in love with him, right? So just to give you a brief, last session, few sessions, we learned about this very, very influential king called, what was his name? King Parikshit. Yes, King Parikshit, who actually loved Krishna so much. And we also got to know that he was cursed by a Brahmin, and now he's about to leave his body. The soul is going to leave the body after 7 days. He's been given a time span, right? And he meets this very, very self-realized, very, very good soul as his teacher, and his teacher's name is Shukadev Goswami, right? And what does he ask Shukadev Goswami? Please tell me everything about Krishna.
And what should I do before I die?
Yeah, what should I do before I die? And he wanted to start from the very beginning, from the creation, which we did yesterday. And now he's asking his teacher that please tell me about Krishna. Now he knows how the world was created, he knows who created the world, and he now wants to know about that person who created the world, right? So, and then he also wants to know about the different incarnations of Krishna, the different avatars of Krishna. Because we know Krishna is the original person. We saw his place also, right, where he resides. What was the name of that place? Golok. You wrote it? Yeah. So when you write your notes, then things get imprinted in your mind. Then you remember these things. That is why Ahana is able to answer so much because she has written it down, right? So now Parikshit wanted to hear about different incarnations of the Lord.
There are
Yeah,
10.
major 10 incarnations. She's right. There are major 10 incarnations, but there are innumerable incarnations of the Lord, right? So today we'll try to do as many as we can. Okay, and we've also shared that beautiful Dashavatars song. Yeah, and today when we do most of the incarnations, you can do it as a homework. You can watch that song and see, because it's all in English except the verses in Sanskrit. Somebody is explaining while somebody is singing the verses in Sanskrit, and you can also see the depiction in a very beautiful dance form, right?
And also different mudras to show different avatars. So if there is a fish avatar, it goes like this. If there's a this thing avatar, if there is a singer. So there are many mudras in Kathak, in Bharatanatyam. If you're learning, you can show it to your teacher. Tell them that I want to learn these steps.
In our Bharatanatyam also there is like Matsya, Kurma, something.
Yeah.
So King Parikshit, he wanted to get absolutely absorbed in Krishna, and he wanted to listen about Krishna sincerely. So then he asked this question to his teacher, right? And similarly, Brahma, Brahma's son, one of his sons is Narad. Have you heard of Narad? Huh? So Narad also asked, one day he went to Brahmalok, where Brahma resides, and he said, Father, can you tell me stories about Krishna, like how we ask our parents, no? We also ask our parents before sleeping, we want them to tell us a story, right? So similarly, Narad also went back to his father and said, I really want you to tell me stories about Krishna. So Narad really wanted to hear, because why do these people, these are very exalted, very pure souls, why do they want to hear about Krishna? Why do you think they all want to hear about Krishna?
Because they all love Krishna and they want blessings from Krishna.
Yes, very good.
And Krishna is a leader and he is always taking care of them in some way or another.
Yeah.
So they want to give back to him back. And Krishna even protects, protects.
Very good, Kabir. Yes, he protects. And what does Krishna steal? Do you know when baby Krishna, he steals something, no? Butter. He loves to steal soft butter, not hard butter. Very
I love
soft.
I
Who
love
loves
to
soft?
eat butter.
You love to eat butter?
I love to eat yellow butter.
Yellow
Yeah,
butter.
and I even try white butter.
Both the
Yellow
butters are
butter.
tasty. You like yellow or white?
I like yellow, but he likes white, so I have to eat that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our generation likes white.
Yeah. So, Krishna also loves butter. And when we listen about Krishna, then you know what happens to our heart? Our heart becomes soft, our heart becomes kind, and all the, dirty things like anger, greed,
Pride,
lust,
envy,
pride, envy,
jealousy,
all these dirty things, they leave our heart, and Krishna comes and manifests himself, appears in our heart, and our heart becomes really soft and kind, like all your hearts are very soft and kind. You all are such good friends, right? Always sharing, always being affectionate, always caring for each other, right? So our heart becomes as soft as butter. And then what does Krishna do? He comes and steals our heart. He comes and resides in our heart. He's always there in our heart, but then he starts reciprocating with us. He starts, having a connection with us, having a relationship with us. Then he becomes our best friend. We start talking to him. We start, sharing a lot of things with the Lord. So similarly, Narad also had a very soft heart, and he really wanted to listen about Krishna from his own father Brahma. Okay, and in the Bhagavatam, all the incarnations that we are discussing right now, even the incarnations which have not come, like Kalki is one incarnation. Kalki will come on a white horse, and he will come in a particular. He will appear in a particular village. He will have particular set of parents. The name of the parents, everything is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam.
But Kalki is not here.
So he's about to be. He will come, right? He's not come yet. But what I'm trying to say
But the
is that
signs are there. You see wars and people are thinking of even doing nuclear war. So
Yeah.
the signs have come that Kalki
Yeah.
Avatar
So,
can come anytime.
if you read your scriptures, if you read the holy books, then you get to know about all these avatars. So if somebody tells you I am God, you immediately know if that person is a self-made God or he's really God, right? Because you have evidence in the scriptures. So nobody can cheat us, right? So it's very important to read our scriptures like Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, so that you know about Krishna and all the other avatars. Okay? So the first avatar that we are going to talk about is actually a very funny, like you guys know that person. It's actually a boar.
What? No,
Like-
this is a fish.
But
is it?
the board,
Okay,
we are doing
it's a
both.
boar. First it's a boar. You know why? Because this happened. Remember last class we discussed about different ages. Can you tell me the different ages?
The Golden Age, Silver Age, and
Copper.
Iron Age.
Copper
What
and
is in between iron and silver?
Copper.
Copper. So now we're going to start with the golden age. What is golden age called in Sanskrit? Start with-
Satyug.
Yes, Satyayug. So this is the story of Satyayug. There was a very, very big terrorist at those years also. In those years also, there was a very big tyrant. His name was Hiranyaksh. What was his name? Yeah, and he was a demon, and he had all the bad qualities that we just spoke about, which we don't want. We don't want anger, we don't want lust, we don't want greed, we don't
Jealousy.
want jealousy, we don't want pride. But
Envy.
this person, Hiranyaksh, had all those disqualifications, right? And he just wanted to get gold from earth, like all the riches and the resources. He wanted to misuse all the resources and get everything for himself. He just wanted, he was very greedy. So what did he do? He tortured Mother Earth and he pushed Mother Earth with his foot down deep at the sea level, right? So that is like torturing Mother Earth, right? Who wants to go into the sea? And bottom of the sea is very murky, very dirty, you know.
But how can he get Mother Earth into the sea if Mother Earth has the sea?
So this is the different ocean called Garbhodakshaya ocean. There is Mother Earth has like 71% water, right? And 29% is land, right? We've read it in science. But there is something called a bigger ocean called the Garbhodakshaya ocean, right? So he kind of pushed her there.
So it's like the whole system, one universe, right? So universe, you have the galaxies, you have planets and different galaxies. So Earth was taken separately and pushed down somewhere else in very dark corner of the universe.
Yeah, which is very dirty place, right? So now Brahma, because he's the most supreme living being, right? Yesterday we discussed so many devatas like Indra, Dev, we discussed about Varun, Chandra, Surya Dev, right? All of these devatas, they didn't know how to defeat this Hiranyaksh because he was so powerful and he was so demoniac. So they all went to Brahma because he's like the supreme living being, right? They said, do something, let's save earth, okay? But Brahma said, oh, I can't do anything because I don't have all the powers. All my powers come from Krishna. So they all went to Vishnu. They said, please do something because you are the maintainer, right? You are supposed to maintain Mother Earth. You are supposed to maintain all the universes. Please do something. They humbly requested him. So Vishnu said, okay, no problem. You know what Vishnu did? Suddenly,
He tried to defeat the demon himself.
yes, but how did he incarnate himself? Did he come as Vishnu or he took another form?
He came in another form.
Yeah. So tell me one thing. If suppose, which is that animal who actually loves to dig in the dirt?
Moon.
Huh?
Moon.
Moon? Mole is very close to
Rabbit?
the answer. Rabbit is also pretty close.
Pig.
Yes, that is the answer.
A boar.
A boar. Like the other day, we were on this thing summer camp, and we saw this one boar and one pig, and they were really digging themselves the dirtiest place, like in the trash, and they were trying to find something, and they were snorting, just like Peppa Pig does.
Like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
How does he do it? Okay, look at that. Okay.
Now we know exactly who watches Peppa Pig. Right?
Okay. So the boar. And so the boar likes what? What do they eat?
Mud.
More than that, they eat something even worse than.
Carrots.
No, they eat
Trash.
like trash, but poop. They eat poop. And you know what is the feast? Their feast is if it's fresh, hot.
Ew. From somebody's
Yeah.
butt.
It's almost the same as rabbit. Yeah, rabbits eat their own poop. Or soft.
Okay. So we have a lot of incarnations to do today. So then, a lot of interesting ones. Are you enjoying this one?
Yes.
Yeah. So then, Vishnu came as a boar,
But
and
different.
he was such a beautiful boar.
It wasn't like that.
He was. Who
Yeah.
likes Peppa Pig?
Nobody.
Who finds Peppa Pig cute?
Nobody.
Yeah. So this boar, which as Vishnu
Come, sit here.
Vishnu incarnated himself as
No,
a
you can
boar,
sit down. You can sit down.
and
Where?
She's getting a charger.
Should I get the sheet?
Yes.
Then it's okay.
Okay, right now you sit here. But
Don't disturb it.
okay, and a boar has these tusks, right?
Yeah.
So what did Vishnu do with his? Okay, by the way, the boar is called Vara in Sanskrit. Vara. So Varahadev. Okay, and he was really, really beautiful. Right, he was wearing a golden crown, and he had lot of ornaments on him, and he's holding a club in his paw, right? And he had these tusks. And what did he do with his tusks? He actually dug the Mother Earth out of that dirt. Okay, so look, Krishna actually comes in these kind of lower species also, but he still remains as God. He still doesn't, he's not considered somebody who is lower, right? He's still, Krishna is still God, right? So this is one of the first incarnations that we spoke
so
about.
he saved the earth, huh? Now we are
He
living on.
saved the earth, and he brought the earth back into its orbit, right? Because this Hiranyaksh, what did he do? He had taken Mother Earth away from her orbit. We've learned in science, no? She revolves around the sun on a particular axis, right? So he had removed.
First, the earth was at a straight axis like this, and there was a line, and then an asteroid or something hit it, and
Got
now
knocked
it's
out.
tilted a little.
Yeah, so it's a little tilted, right? So yeah. So now everybody knows about Vara Avatar, the
Yes.
boar
That's one.
avatar.
Yeah.
We have
So
9
keep
more to
this, keep this in your mind, okay? And if somebody is writing down, making a note,
We can
then
quickly do it for Arohi and Adit once.
Yeah, so
Between
it's
3 lines.
yeah. So you want to give a synopsis about Varadev?
So, like, my mother was talking about, like, Dashavatars.
Okay, tell me, talk.
There are 10 avatars of Krishna. She's explaining about the boar Varadev. So basically, it's a boar. I mean, it's a kind of big species. So we were just talking about like
So the first avatar is a pig.
no,
A
actually,
boar?
it's a fish, but she's talking.
Okay, fine, but there is in this Dashavatars we are doing these boar avatar. So the earth was moved out of its axis by a very evil demon called Hiranyaksh. And Hiranyaksh, what he did was he put it in a very dirty part of the universe. And so to remove things from a dirty part, you need very origins of species which can go there. So boars can easily go there, and so that's what Krishna turned into a boar and was able to lift earth back into its orbit. And then fight Hiranyaksh and kill him and all that with his horns, like that. And then you make this sign, like he lifted the earth like that.
Or
And
you could just do like No, that is
So
Mudra.
that is, yeah, this one. You lift the earth like this. Yeah, that's a sign in Bharatanatyam. You do a
No,
mudra.
that is not the sign. This is like one side.
This is the fish avatar.
Yeah, this is good action. Yes.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah.
How?
So we can learn these actions. Like the first one, we can learn as the touch.
I don't think the grunting was happening, but
It comes from this avatar.
So are we ready to discuss the second one?
okay, let's go. We have many more to
Number
go.
2 is called the fish avatar. Okay.
Matsya.
Which is called Matsya in Sanskrit, right? The Matsya avatar. So once upon a time, what happened? The whole earth was covered in flood. Okay, and now, but there were few people who had to be saved so that the new generation, the new cycle could start, right? And there was this king called Satyavrata. What is his name? Satyavrata, and he was a devotee of the Lord, and the Lord really wanted to save him from this flood. So he asked him that, next day the whole earth will be filled with water. So what you do, you make a boat and prepare yourself and make sure that you have every species with you, the male and the female, okay? So that again the population can grow, right? When the whole world will be made fresh, then the whole population can again start. So he had all the male and female of every species, and he also took the sages with him so that the knowledge is preserved. And he also took all the sages with him, all the spiritual people who had all the knowledge with them. He took all the sages with him. So Krishna came as a fish avatar, and this particular fish was colossal, as in huge, enormous, because after all it's a big like flood, and he had to pull that boat with the king Satyavrata. He had to pull that boat, and this fish also had a horn on its head, and there was this snake called Vasuki. Vasuki is also a devotee of the Lord, even though he's a snake, and Vasuki was given a task to pull this boat like a rope, and he was tied to the horn of the fish. Got it? So now the fish is there with the horn, and Vasuki is the snake, very very long snake. He is being tied to the horn on one side, and the other side he is pulling the boat and taking the boat to a safer place. So who's actually pulling the boat? The fish avatar is pulling the boat along with the snake.
But if he's like Matsya avatar is pulling the thing, where is he in the boat? Where is he taking the?
Yeah, in a safe place, because it's now flooding.
But
So,
if
but
the whole earth is
yeah,
filled
but
with
then
water, where is
he's
he?
making sure that the boat doesn't sink. The Lord is making sure that his devotees are not perished.
So he doesn't know where he's going, but he's just like taking the boat wherever
The flood will end, and
the
then
water
everything.
The
is.
flood is going to end after some time. So Krishna is making sure as Matsyadev to protect his devotees who are on the boat. Right? He'll make sure that the boat doesn't sink at the bottom.
So the first avatar, he's making sure that all our lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, attachment needs to be killed, right? We need to not have those things. That's why Hiranyaksha was killed for his bad actions, because he was destroying Mother Earth. So with all his extra desires, extra anger, all greed, he was misbehaving so much that Earth couldn't take it anymore, and he then pushed Earth down. So each avatar is teaching us something. So first is teaching that Krishna comes to kill evil people or kill our evil habits. The second avatar is showing that he saves his devotees.
But if all of the people who had bad qualities were saved only one time, they would know that God actually did this to us. So then why didn't and they would try and focus on the Lord and try to be good. But then why did Krishna think that they should all die?
Some people, even if you tell them about God, no, they don't want to believe. So only the people who had faith in the Lord, who were devotees of the Lord, were saved. And few people who didn't believe in God and who were doing all the evil things, going against the Lord, they were envious of the Lord, were not saved. Right? So now we've done with two avatars. First is
The boar and the
Boar.
second one is the fish.
Yeah, so boar is called Varade and the second one is called Matsya. Okay, if you remember the Sanskrit words also, it's good. Otherwise, no problem. We'll keep
But wasn't
revising.
Varadir the third avatar?
Okay, fine. We'll do the math
We're
later.
doing this. We'll just do it and then you can put it in sequence the way you want to, right? And now there's a third one, and the third one is the tortoise avatar. And tortoise, you can make this. I think this
Yeah,
is
he's
a good.
making that sign.
Yeah.
That's a
Fine.
snail.
What is
Yeah.
mom's name? Yes,
Tortoise
This
with
is
its
tortoise.
shell, right? Okay, and tortoise is also
tortoise.
called
This
Kurma
side.
avatar. What is it called?
Kurma.
Now there's a beautiful story. There's a beautiful story of churning the ocean, right? This churning the ocean happened when the demons and the devatas, they wanted to become immortal. The demons always want to become immortal. They don't want to die. They want to have a long life and enjoy and everything. And so they all wanted it. So Vishnu said, okay, if you churn the ocean, then the nectar will come out of the ocean. So the demons were like very excited. But they were fierce enemies with the devatas. They never wanted to collaborate.
We had fought this in court.
Yes. Yeah. They never wanted to collaborate with the devatas because they are totally opposite the devatas, right?
So they were both fighting for gold. And
Yeah.
they were trying to get the
No, she's right.
gold out of the sea or the ocean. I'm not sure.
They were fighting for. Acha, you're saying they were fighting for gold from the sea, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were fighting for nectar, as she mentioned. But the thing is that then their guru, demons also have a teacher, right? Because somebody has to teach them about demoniac qualities, right? So they need a teacher for that also. So their teacher told the demons that don't be fools. Now is the time to collaborate with these devatas, and once we have that nectar, then somehow or the other we'll steal it. So don't worry, right now work as a team. So they started working as a team. So the devatas told them, okay, you be at the tail side. So there was basically there was a mountain. Okay, they used the mountain called Mandara mountain, and they used a snake to churn the mountain, because you can't use an ordinary rope, right? This is like the ocean.
Or you can't use a churner which you churn.
Yeah, you cannot use a churner, but usually a churner has a rope. So who will become that rope? The biggest snake, no, will become the rope,
So people
right?
in the front were demons and the devtas were told to be at the back, so that if the
Tail side.
thing comes out,
Yeah.
Amrit comes out, they can grab it quickly.
Yeah, so demons, they are very selfish, right? So they said, why have you put us at the tail of the snake? We want to be in the front. Like, always want to feel important. So they said, we want to be at the front. So Vishnu just smiled and said, okay, let them be in the front. No problem. The demons can be in the front and the devatas can be at the back, at the tail.
He had a plan.
Yeah, he always have a plan.
Krishna.
Yeah.
The Devatas didn't even know that the demons had a plan, and that's why the demons made the Devatas stand at the back, because the demons could get the gold first. No,
Could get the
not
nectar
Vishnu
first.
had nectar.
Yeah.
Krishna had a plan. Krishna.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they started churning, so this Mandara mountain started falling at the bottom. So somebody had to hold the mountain, right? It's such a huge mountain. Somebody had to hold the mountain. Who's got the power?
Hanumanji.
And who has
Krishna.
Krishna has the power. So Krishna said, okay, how do I do that? So he took the form of a tortoise, because tortoise has a very hard shell. So the Mandara mountain you could put on his back, and then when you churn, it'll have a solid foundation. And these tortoise are the tortoise that Krishna took incarnated himself as, was a huge tortoise, right? And the tortoise, they love swimming in the water. For them, it's like joy, right? So the Mandara mountain was resting on the tortoise, and the snake was the rope, and the demons and the devatas were churning. Okay, and then what happened? What came out of the ocean? The nectar. Amrit. It's called Amrit. Like whoever has this Amrit will have a very, 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 very long life.
But in between, many other things also came out. Very bad things came out. Some poisons came out. One
Poison
poison
of the
Shivji
snake.
had to
Yeah.
also have.
That's why Shivji's neck is all blue.
Neelkant, it's called.
And you know the best thing is Krishna enjoys his pastimes. So when he became this tortoise, Krishna was having a little itch at his back, and he really wanted something to give him a nice massage. So he said, okay, this is a great pastime.
Great
I
life.
can come as a tortoise, and then this Mandara mountain is the right size for me to give me a nice massage. And so he had his eyes half closed and imagine he was getting a nice massage.
Is it true that the way you're laughing in my ear?
He's imagining, na?
Also, yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm saying that is it true that like a big turtle over here is like bigger than this room can hold a mountain?
Yes.
It is much, much bigger.
Much bigger.
As
Million
much as
times.
the size of
So
a
now
mountain.
all turtles nowadays they have
But the
designs
what-
on their shells.
That's
huh?
going to
Most
be-
turtles have designs on their shells, and some very rare ones have a star-shaped design.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so those are because of that churning of the ocean.
Yeah.
And like squirrels have 3 marks.
Yeah.
So like Ramji had touched them.
Yeah.
I need it.
So now we finished how many?
We finished 3.
Which was the first one? I
The
forgot.
boar, the fish, and the tortoise.
Yeah. Now the fourth one. Now remember the first one, when we discussed the first one, the boar avatar, there was a demon who was really troubling Mother Earth. What was his name?
Yes.
Hiranyaksh.
Yeah.
Now Hiranyaksh had a brother called Hiranyakashipu. So their names are very similar.
Okay, who's gonna repeat? Hiranya Kashipu. Poo. Okay? Not poo. But his actions were all like poo.
So Hiranyakashipu, he was even more demoniac than his brother, and he really wanted to take revenge because his brother was killed by Vishnu as the boar avatar. So he was really envious and jealous of Vishnu, and he wanted to kill Vishnu.
Yes, Abhya, you have to.
Maybe he was named Hiranyakashipu because he poops a lot.
Well, that part of the story is over.
Okay, so so he had done a lot of austerities, and he thought that he's actually got a very nice boon, and nobody can kill him. This is what he thought because his boon was very special. But then Krishna had to take the form of a half man and half lion. Can you imagine what different forms he takes? And I'll ask you at the end why Krishna takes so many different.
And he does like
incarnations.
this, like that. He'll do.
Okay, so he was half lion. He was like his face was of a lion, but his rest of his body was like a man. Okay, and we will do this story later in lot of details because the story is very interesting. Today I'm telling you just a little bit, right?
No, I want to hear whole story.
Okay, we'll do Prahlad Maharaj's story. We'll need 5 classes for that. Okay? We'll do it in your next break.
After this class, then we'll start the next classes, okay? Yeah.
Okay, 10 avatars first, like a shortcut, and then we'll go deep into some of that.
So Krishna actually took the form of Narsingha. Narsingha, Nar means man and Singha means lion. So he took the form of Narsingha and he's really fierce. And then what did he do? He made this demon called Hiranyakashipu lie on his lap. And what did he do? He tore apart his tummy. You know, because he had these razor-like sharp nails. Right?
It's very graphic for Kabir.
Yeah.
We'll have to do
We'll
parental
actually
guidance.
do a play, Kabir, and we'll make you
Prahlad.
Narsingha.
No, Prahlad. He'll become Prahlad Maharaj.
Yeah.
He'll be the sweet Prahlad.
Okay. So then, what happened? Then when he ripped apart his stomach like this, then he took out the intestines of this demon. Can you imagine? And he wore it like a garland.
Kabir will have nightmares.
Yeah. But this demon actually deserved it because he was so horrible.
He was very horrible.
He was so horrible, right? punishment. So this story actually teaches us that we should actually, the best thing is to become Krishna's best friend, right? And then you are totally protected.
Not enemy.
Yeah, don't become his enemy,
But he came to protect his devotee.
right?
He came to protect Prahlad.
Okay.
And that's why.
Now the next one is very, very sweet. I think we shared that book with you. It's a beautiful story of an elephant,
Yeah,
right? And
Yeah.
what was his name?
Gajendra.
Gajendra. And Gajendra is this nice elephant. He's actually the king of the elephants, and he's really, really powerful. And he's also very proud of the fact that he's really powerful. And he has a lot of these influential friends and these, his relatives and all. And he thinks that nobody can defeat him. So one day he wants to go sporting. He wants to
He's
go
having fun, basically.
sporting
Yeah,
and
with his like family and
yeah,
friends.
and he wanted to go for a vacation, right? And
And they were playing in the water,
Yeah.
and then while they were playing, an alligator bit his leg.
yes, and he thought, this alligator is just a
Crocodile.
small problem and it will get solved. And he called for so many people to help him, like so many of his elephant friends to come and help him. But
the
nobody could help
alligator
him,
was
right?
really strong.
Yeah, because alligators are strong in water and elephants are strong on land, right? So, and for how many years he was struggling? Thousands and thousands of years he was struggling like that, and slowly he really became weak.
Because
Obviously,
all of his blood
because
was
blood
coming
was
out.
pouring out from his body every time, so he really became weak, and he was almost at the verge of dying. And he thought now nobody can save him. Suddenly, you know what happened? He remembered.
He felt the urge to like pray to Lord, and
Yeah.
he prayed. No, he didn't remember that. He remembered that when in his old life he was a king.
Yes, Indradyumna, and he had learned a lot of prayers and he had heard about Krishna. See, the most important thing is when you hear about Krishna and you are in trouble, these pastimes, these stories actually change your heart and they help you. Right? They make your heart soft and you start having faith in Krishna. And once you believe in Krishna, Krishna also makes sure that he takes you out of that problem, right?
Yeah,
Or
he
gives you
keeps you
courage
safe.
also
He
to
keeps
face
you
it.
safe.
Yeah, he keeps you safe. So at that time, this elephant Gajendra, what did he do? There were a lot of lotuses growing nearby, and he plucked one of the lotus and he offered it to the Lord. And then all the prayers that he had learned in his previous life,
He
that
started
all,
reciting
yeah, they all came back. So you never forget when you worship Krishna, all these impressions always stay back with you. So he remembered all those prayers suddenly, and he offered all those prayers to Krishna. And Krishna is so kind; he's always waiting. He's always waiting for us to remember him. And the moment we remember him, immediately he appears. So he appeared in front of Gajendra, and quickly he took out his chakra and he killed that alligator, and he saved Gajendra, his devotee.
Crocodile.
Right?
Ooh,
What is that?
bloody water.
So now we've done how many? How many have we done? Who's going to do the recap? First one was boar. Second one?
Fish.
Fish.
Third one?
Turtle.
Fourth one?
Elephant. No, lion.
Yes.
Lion.
My favorite, the lion man. And then?
Elephant.
Yeah. And who came to save the elephant? Narayan. Narayan came to save him. Narayan is another
Lord Hari.
Lord Hari, basically another form of Krishna. Narayan came, right? So Narayan is the next incarnation. Now after this, we're going to do another very cute incarnation of the Lord. He is the dwarf incarnation. Dwarf means people who are little short.
Very
Yeah,
short.
yeah. But he's a little boy. Okay, he's not a man. He's a dwarf boy, right? And he's called the dwarf incarnation, and his name is Vamandev. Okay? Vamandev. And he came like a cute little boy. He came and he was holding an umbrella, and he's a Brahmin. Okay, so he came, and there was this king called Bali, King Bali.
I know him.
You know him?
I
Yeah.
sing Legend of Hanuman, and he's the bad guy.
Oh, is he? But that is a different Bali. and this is another Bali, okay? So this Bali Maharaj was doing a fire sacrifice. Remember last class we spoke about the fire sacrifice? So that time, if he would have done that fire sacrifice, he would become the king of the whole world. And this Vamandev went to him and said, you know, can you give me 3 steps of land? How much? Can you imagine small steps like Kabir's footprint? Okay, if we take 3 steps, how much will it cover? Will it cover too much space? No, it'll also not cover the cushion that we are sitting on, right? The mattress that we are sitting on. So Vamandev told this Bali Maharaj, can you give me these 3 steps land which would cover just 3 steps? So Bali Maharaj said, you know what? I am the king, I am the emperor. What are you asking? Just this much land, like this much, you know. So please ask something really, really big from me. I can give you one full universe if you want. So he said, no, I don't want so much. I just want 3 places of land, 3 steps of land. So then Bali Maharaj said, okay, please take it. Please take it. So you know what Krishna did? With 1 step, he covered the entire earth. With the 2nd step, he covered the entire universe, all the universes. Now with the 3rd step, where will he put the 3rd step? There's no space.
The sun.
Huh?
The sun.
Sun also is covered, stars are covered, constellations are covered, all the Milky Way is
The
covered. Universe is covered.
It's already covered.
Okay. Now what do you think? Where will you put the 3rd step? There's no place. Then you know what Bali Maharaj said to him? Can you think? He said, okay, now there's nothing left. You can put your 3rd step on my head. Because nothing is left now. So he fully surrendered himself to the Lord. And the Lord was so happy with Bali Maharaj because actually King Bali is also a devotee of the Lord.
Yeah, it's written on the cover page.
Yeah,
also.
he's a devotee of the Lord. So he, in his heart of hearts, he knew that this is actually Krishna who has come to test him. And he wanted to give everything that he has to Krishna. And Krishna became so happy with him that he said that I will make you the king of a place called Sutal Lok. And he became the king of Sutal Lok, which is more opulent than the heavenly planets also. And you know what Vamandev did? He became his doorkeeper. He loves his devotees so much that he became the guard of that Sutal Lok. Can you imagine? And with love, because he was so attracted to Bali Maharaj's devotion, that he became the doorman of his Sutal Lok. Like outside the door of Sutal Lok, Vamandev is still standing and protecting that place. Such a benevolent, friend and Lord we have, right? So we've done a beautiful pastime of Vamandev. Now we'll move to the next one. Now the next one is very interesting. Actually, I wanted to get a very close friend of mine has actually written this book on Dhruva. So we'll get those. We'll do a proper session on Dhruva, but I'll give you a synopsis of Dhruva. So next avatar of Krishna is when there's this 5-year-old boy called Dhruva. He was insulted by his stepmother. Okay, and she actually used very harsh words, and what he wanted to sit on his father's lap, but his stepbrother was sitting on the father's lap, and the stepmother told him that you cannot sit on your father's lap because she was really, really jealous and envious of Dhruva. Now Dhruva became really, really angry, and he said this is not fair. You know what? He went to his own mother and he told his mother that this is how I was insulted by my stepmother. I just want to now take revenge. I want to do something so that I can teach her a lesson. So his mother said, don't become so angry. Whatever you want, all your desires will get fulfilled if you pray to Krishna. So then Dhruva asked, he's just a 5-year-old boy, he's never heard about Krishna, he doesn't know where Krishna resides. So his mother said that Krishna resides in the forest. She said that this is what I have heard, that all the great sages, they go to the forest and there they sit in solitude and there they meditate on Krishna, and there where they find Krishna. So this 5-year-old boy, because he's so innocent, he actually believed his mother, and he went all the way alone in the night. Imagine a king's son. So, so such a wealthy child, and he's wearing all these ornaments and he's going to the forest all alone. And then Krishna saw that this little innocent child is going, and he immediately sent a teacher called Narad. Have you heard Narad's name?
Yes. Narad Muni.
Yeah, Narad Muni went, and Krishna told Narad Muni, please go and help this little boy Dhruva, because he's going to the forest, and forest is not a safe place, right? There are so many dangerous animals in the forest. He might be, he'll get attacked by so many, rogues and thieves in the forest who will steal all the ornaments from him, right? So please go and protect him. So Narad Muni goes and tells Dhruva, that Dhruva, you're such a small boy. Why have you come to the forest? Why don't you go back and play? Forget about what your stepmother told you. This is your time to play and have fun. Go back. Dhruva said, no, you know what? I'm a warrior, because kings are supposed to become warriors, no? So he said, I'm a warrior, and I have this prestige and this pride that if somebody tells me something, I can't take it. Now I have taken a vow that I
can't take it.
that I will actually now I want a kingdom bigger than my father and bigger than my grandfather. And who is who's his father's father? Brahma, right? Because he really wanted to become that rich and opulent, so that nobody can ever tell him such harsh words. So Narad Muni said, okay. So he said, wow, you're so determined. So then Narad Muni taught him everything, how he can actually meditate on Krishna. So he taught him that, if you're going to this forest called Madhuvan, you go to this forest called Madhuvan and there you sit and meditate. But what will you meditate upon?
How big the 3 times?
Yeah, what will you meditate upon? Yesterday I told you, no, you can't just meditate upon voidism and just empty space.
You have to have somebody who will be telling you about it and while you meditate. So he took a teacher and then he knows how to meditate and then he knows how to
Absolutely. So he found a teacher, Narad Muni, who was teaching him everything. So Narad Muni said, because fresh clay, you can find fresh clay, right, in the forest, and this is topsoil, which is very rich, right, and it is also very like if you touch it, it's good for your skin also. There are no harmful chemicals in it. So you make a form of Krishna. He explained to him how Krishna looks. Like yesterday we discussed, no, Krishna has this peacock feather, he's got this beautiful face like a lotus.
He wears shiny golden like tea.
Yes.
And he plays the
Yeah, so all the description was given to him, Adya. All the description was given to him about Krishna, and he made a nice deity, and he started doing the chant which his teacher told him to do. And what was that chant? He did it in the first class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yeah. So, and then in how many months he actually saw Krishna? In only 6 months. In only 6 months, just by following the instructions of his teacher, he actually saw Krishna right in front of him. And he was so happy to see Krishna. And he said, oh my God, I was looking for pieces of glass, because he was comparing that, he wanted all the opulence and all the wealth of the world, and he wanted a kingdom which was far, far greater than even Brahma. And he said, these are like pieces of glass. Now I found something like a diamond, like you are a diamond, Krishna. Once I've found you, once I've got you, once I've become your friend, I don't need these pieces of glass. I don't want now anything. I only want you. But Krishna always fulfills all your desires. So he gave him a kingdom which is even bigger and bigger than Brahma's kingdom also. You know?
Have you heard of the pole star or the
North Star. Pole Star, North Star. There's always a North Star in the sky, right?
Have you
Pole Star.
heard that
that's-
is through Maharaj's book? I mean, this guy.
Yeah, that is the Dhruva Lok, the North Star, which actually gives direction, and you can always see it in the north side, on the North Pole. That is actually Dhruva Lok, and it's always there. Like a lot of stars come and they twinkle, and sometimes they disappear, right? But this particular Dhruva Lok or North Star is always visible. Okay, so we've
Even
done.
in daytime.
No, whenever it's light, but it's particular direction, it's always there.
And never changes direction.
Yeah, it's always there.
Now there's one interesting avatar. It's called Dhanvantri avatar. Dhanvantri, actually, we spoke about churning of the ocean, right?
Yes.
So Dhanvantri also came out. Dhanvantri is an expansion or an incarnation of Krishna. So Dhanvantri came out with that nectar. We were talking about the nectar, right? Somebody had to hold the nectar, right? Nectar was in a pot. So somebody had to hold the nectar and come out of the ocean. So this is the Dhanvantri avatar, which came out of the ocean holding the nectar. So this Dhanvantri avatar actually removes all our diseases.
So Ayurveda, when you go to Ayurveda center, Mama Papa must have gone somewhere. They put a Dhanvantri avatar DT or a photograph in the reception area of the Ayurveda clinic.
Right? And then after this we will do a short, there's an incarnation of Parshuram. Parshuram is also a warrior who came to kill all those kings who were not following dharma. Okay? And so he's a very fierce form of the Lord, and he doesn't tolerate anyone who does not follow the rules of dharma. So he came and he killed all those kings who were not following it. 21 times he did that. Okay? 21 times. Then there is this beautiful incarnation of Lord Ram. We know about Lord Ram?
Yes.
So what did he do when he came?
He came
As
the Rakshas Ravan.
yeah, he came to kill Ravan and similar Rakshas at that time, whoever was troubling, he came to, and he saved Sita from Ravan, right? So we all know Ram avatar.
And he established Ayodhya as a wonderful kingdom.
Okay, so Lord comes to do these miraculous feats, right? Wondrous miracles, and kills all the demons, and also comes to protect his devotees, right? So what are the two things Krishna comes, incarnates? What are the two things?
He comes to Sri Lanka to get Sita ji back,
Hmm?
and he kills all the Rakshas, bad Rakshas.
Yes. So these are his major two roles that he plays when he comes as different incarnations. And then he also came 5,000 years ago as Krishna, right? That we know, we are aware of,
Yeah.
right? And he came in a beautiful form. Like his color, complexion of his body was what? Bluish black. And he had curly locks, right? And his face was as beautiful as the shining moon, and his eyes were as beautiful as the lotus petals, right? And he came, when he came, Krishna came, he did wonderful acts. Like, he was a 3-month-old baby, and he killed a witch. Can you imagine? A 3-month-old baby can't even turn on the bed, right? He starts to turn after 4
Few
months
days.
or whatever, right? Yeah.
Few days.
So yeah, he was like few days old when he came, when he killed a witch called Putna. Okay, and yeah, and then he also has this. He also, when he was playing in the pastures, this Vrindavan is next to Yamuna, right?
Yeah.
And Yamuna, there was a snake in the Yamuna. His name was Kalia, and because he had this really poison in his. He was leaving a lot of poison in the Yamuna, and all the cows and all the cowherd friends of Krishna when they used to feel thirsty, they used to have this water from the Yamuna. So this Kalia was actually, throwing all his poison in the Yamuna. So when they were drinking this
They were
water,
trying to drink it, but Krishna knew somehow, and he tried to warn them.
Yeah, he tried to warn him, but Kalia was again very envious. So he didn't want to leave Yamuna. So then Krishna taught him a lesson.
He jumped in the water.
He jumped in the water and started dancing on the hoods of many hoods of Kalia. And that's how he subdued Kalia. And then Kalia asked for forgiveness. And then Krishna said, okay, I forgive you, but you please leave Vrindavan. Because Vrindavan is my place where we have so much fun. So if you're going to be in the water, how can we have fun, right? Everybody's going to be so scared of you. So you please leave Yamuna and you go. And he told him a place where he can safely go and stay there. Right? So he did all this. Then there was a forest fire also, which Krishna actually swallowed. He drank up all the fire. Can you imagine? Only God can do it, right?
He drank up the fire and that's why he became blackish blue.
He was blackish blue from the beginning. And then, he was so naughty. We heard...
Just like Kabir.
Exactly.
He, what did he eat? Apart from butter, one day what did he eat? He ate mud.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, isn't it? And
Once he also ate sand.
Yeah.
I don't know what mud is.
And his mother didn't like this because she used to make such yummy food for him. And she said, why are you eating mud? I make such yummy, feast for you, and you're eating mud, right? So Krishna said, no, I didn't eat mud. So then,
It's like some mother is made to make the whole bar with pizzas on it, and the child is going to eat dirty mud from the floor.
exactly. So then Krishna said, so Mother Yashoda, his mother said, okay, open your mouth and show me. Just prove it to me that you've not had mud, because when you have mud, little mud stays, on between the whatever teeth and all. So then the mothers can make out whether you're lying or you're not lying. Suppose you eat chocolate and you say no, I have not had chocolate, but Mama will tell you, okay, open your mouth and show me. Then there'll be some remains left, so Mama will make out. So similarly, Mother Yashoda told him, now open your mouth and show me. I want to check whether you're lying or not. And he opened his mouth. And you know what Mother Yashoda saw instead of mud? He saw the entire universe in his mouth. The entire universe, and she saw herself also inside Krishna's mouth. Everything was inside him. So who can do this? Can an ordinary person? You guys open your mouth and show me universe inside your mouth.
When I hear
I
this
can only see your teeth.
when I heard
If he just gulped the whole universe,
He didn't gulp it. I mean, it's...
yeah, but then where was he standing?
He was also inside, in his mouth, with his mother, sitting on his
It's like a
mother's lap.
multiverse. It's like a
It's a
multiverse.
loop in which he was
Yes.
inside and that it was inside
Yeah.
and that was
So
inside.
that was saying I was
We see the
You have those
opulence.
Russian dolls inside.
Yeah.
When you open the mouth and then you go inside on the world, there's another person of you.
Yeah.
So you don't know whether you're living in a dream or reality.
Ma'am, yeah.
Right?
The first time I heard this story, I thought an ordinary person could also do it. So I was about to go outside and eat mud.
You can eat mud, no problem. Actually,
No.
chocolate looks like mud. I mean, the
No,
color is the
I
same,
am
right?
not eating
But you
mud.
cannot show the whole universe, right?
Chocolate looks
After
like
you eat
mud.
mud, right?
Yes, it does.
If I remove sweets from, like the sweetener thing inside from the chocolate, it is actually mud only.
No,
Yeah, it will taste like mud.
No, the bean wafers have no relation.
And one more.
Yeah, you're finished?
Okay. Get serious. We have to.
Okay. Then last one more.
Last.
One more story about Krishna. One day, this Indra. I told you about Indra. Who's he? He's the king
He's
of
the
the
king
heavens,
of the
King of all.
and he's also the king of
gods.
rains. Like he is the one who actually gives us rains, right? So one day, he became very jealous of Krishna. Like he used to sit in his heavens, and everybody used to talk about Krishna did this, Krishna killed this demon, Krishna did that. So he said, "Who's this Krishna?"
Ma'am, was this before he got angry about the Govardhana?
Yes. So he said, okay, now I don't like this Krishna all the time. Everybody should do Indra all the time. So he said, okay, you know what? They were doing this nice puja for Indra. Every year the people of Vrindavan used to do a nice puja for Indra so that he can give them rains and then they can have a good harvest and good crops and everything. But that particular year, Krishna told them, you know, Indra, he's a representative of God and he's been told by the God to actually give us rain. So he's doing his job. Why do you have to pray? You should pray to this Govardhan mountain because of
And
this.
also the cows.
Yeah, to the cows and to Govardhan mountain because Govardhan mountain is giving us everything. The sweet grass which is growing on the Govardhan mountain, the cows
rivers
are
which are
having,
flowing on it.
the rivers are there, there's fresh water, there's so much flora and fauna, so many beautiful flowers, trees. So we should pray to Govardhan because of Govardhan we are getting all the resources. So they started praying to Govardhan. Now Indra became so jealous. He said, this is not right. You know, these people have become so proud. They are listening to this 7-year-old little boy. Let me pour rain after rain after
Flood,
rain.
like he
Yeah.
tried to get a flood, but he couldn't succeed because then Krishna ji picked up Govardhana hill.
Yes, for
on
how many
his
days and how many
finger.
nights? For 7
For
days
7
and
days.
7 nights. Right?
So that all of their people and
Safe.
Yeah, he
was
protected
safe under-
everyone.
Basically, they were having a sleepover.
Yeah, under the mountain.
They were having a good time while Krishna was holding the mountain
Like
on.
they were oh,
Yeah, they were
baby finger.
while the baby finger he was holding, and one of his friends said, "Oh Krishna, you must be tired. Let me hold."
And Hanumanji holded it on his index fingers. Excuse me, ma'am. Who's more stronger? Hanumanji or... They're all the same.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
So Hanumanji is the devotee of Ramji, and Ramji is Krishna. Krishna
So
and
basically,
Ram.
Krishna's
Yeah.
stronger than Ram. Okay, so, sorry, I don't know.
So all the powers come from Krishna. All your beauty, all your strength, all your peace, everything comes from Krishna.
So you
So now we've come almost to the end, and the last incarnation for today is Kalki incarnation. And we spoke briefly about it that he'll come at the end of this age.